All right, I'm here with Ryan Hunter, candidate for Kalispell Mayor this year. Ryan is a Kalispell City Council member. He's been representing Ward 3 since 2020. Ryan, thanks for being here with me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So we're going to have some fun questions today, but before we really jump into it, I just want to ask, what made you want to run for mayor?
Yeah, I have been serving on the city council for the past 6 years, representing Ward 3, and I feel like I've been trying to provide that leadership on the council to better manage our rapid growth, to address the affordable housing issues in our communities. And I want to step up into that leadership position, that leadership seat on the council to provide that vision for the community and really lead the community into the future for the betterment of our community.
Awesome. Well, we're going to talk all about it. So we're going to run through some questions here. We got some fun ones. We got some serious ones. Yep. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's jump into it. What's your favorite place to hang out in Kalispell?
There's probably a number of places I hang out. Honestly, one of the places I spend the most time is the library. My family and I are big readers, so we're always going, picking up books and checking out books. So I spend a lot of time there. And obviously our parks, Lawrence Park and Woodland Park are places we spend time. And then Bice Brewing, if I'm going out, or the Walcott Center. I know was there at their recent introduction of their outdoor venue space behind the building there. It got $20,000 performing there. That was one fun. I love live music, so yeah.
Yeah. So you're a reader. What you reading right now?
Right now I'm reading actually a memoir of somebody who grew up on a ranch in Wyoming called Rivers Change Directions. And it's very poetic, well-written memoir about this life growing up, I think it was the 60s, young man on the ranch.
Interesting fact of being in Wyoming, I'm sure.
Oh, here.
I'm sure. We're sitting down here in downtown Kalispell. It's busy right now. It's the end of the day. There's just lots of changes generally happening in downtown. If you had a vision for Kalispell's Main Street and downtown area, what would it be?
It would be a destination where our residents and visitors want to be and enjoy being. And I think right now it's not quite that because of the amount of traffic and noise that we experience on our Main Street. So I wanted to pursue a Main Street that has less traffic, less noise, more walkable space, and also a downtown where it has more people living. I want to see more infill development, particularly along our Parkline Trail. I want to fulfill that vision that we have for the Parkline Trail that pushed us towards developing that trail. I had proposed design standards for development along the Parkline Trail to fulfill that vision. Unfortunately, Council did not adopt those, but I would like to pursue that in the future because one of our most recent developments on the Parkline Trail is a parking lot. That's not going to get us there in terms of fulfilling that vision of Parkline Trail. If we can get more housing, more shops, retail, and restaurants, I think it's going to really be a benefit to the community and our downtown life.
Yeah. Well, speaking of fun stuff to do, if you had a free day, especially a beautiful fall day such as this, what are you doing?
Well, I'm a big outdoors person with my family, so I'd either be in the woods, hiking or camping, kayaking, anything, doing outdoor activities is where I like to spend my time with an activity.
Gotcha, yeah. And are you a coffee person?
More of a tea person, but yeah.
I totally got that vibe from you. Yeah. I was like, everyone asked him his favorite coffee. I just feel like you're a tea guy. What's your favorite kind of tea?
Chai tea is what I typically get. I usually go down to Coulter Coffee and at our Sue's Bakery.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
I love Sue's. Yeah. And Coulter Coffee. What new amenities or infrastructure do you think the city should invest in?
Yeah, one of the things I'd like to see is safer streets. And, we have that plan for downtown. I think that was a missed opportunity. I think there was a lot of misunderstanding around it. So I would like to see those design changes for our downtown. And part of that we would have sought to find funding to upgrade our water infrastructure downtown to ensure that we can see redevelopment and new development on our main street. Right now, that water infrastructure is a limitation. So improving the safety, the sidewalks, and street design, but also more generally having revision to our street design standards so that we do achieve streets that are safer, calmer, maybe slower traffic, particularly in neighborhoods. It's one of the things I've been a real advocate for, ensuring that our neighborhood streets are treated like neighborhood streets with appropriate speeds and traffic levels.
All right. Well, speaking of public safety, do you have any other ideas to improve public safety in Kalispell?
I think the street safety is a big component. Obviously, the emergency levy, which passed recently, put 8 new officers on force, and I think that was really important. I walked with the firefighters union to go door to door to inform the public about that levy to get that through, and I was very happy and community supported that, and that we have more officers on the street. So I do think that public safety is one of the most important parts of our responsibility as elected officials. Obviously, water quality is an important component of that. We've had some issues with toxic chemicals, PFAS in our wells. I supported installing an filtration system on our wells and then replacing those wells, which will eventually get implemented here in process. I also wish there was the issue of lead pipes, and we're replacing our lead pipes. I think that's a critical safety issue, particularly for our children, the impacts lead can have on our children. And so there was a question of financing that, also whether or not we would put that cost on homeowners. They from and it's all had nothing to do with the lead pipes going in that reached their house, or tapping a federal grant that had generous terms. 60% of it would be forgiven. The remaining 40% was at a generous interest rate to pay for that replacement lead lines. I really pushed for tapping that federal funds, not pay the cost of it, and who might struggle to pay that cost. And I didn't want to I want to make sure that our kids' safety wasn't reliant on whether or not that owners can afford to replace those stuff lines. So I was happy that the council decided to go with those federal funds, and we should get those replaced in the coming years.
Are you a history guy? Do you like history?
I do like history.
If you could have a conversation with anyone at the street, who would you pick?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. Teddy Roosevelt is, I think, just a fascinating character from history, personality and history. Being somebody who works with the Flathead Land Trust and is very interested in conservation, trying to conserve our open space. So it's more like I have to have Teddy Roosevelt being kind of the first conservation leader, political leader in our nation, and did so much for preserving our forest lands and our wildlife. I would love to have dinner with him, not just for his contribution to conservation, also really fighting the inequality that existed during the cloud baron era and fighting the opportunity, which I thought was so important for the future of the economy of our country. But he was just a wildly interesting guy. I mean, he had a huge personality. He just seemed like he was a riot, just fun as hell. And yeah, I would love to sit down with that guy and have a conversation.
Yeah, you saw Bigfoot once, allegedly.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
So what's your walk-up song? You're walking at the stadium, you're letting everybody know who you are?
I'd have a hard time picking that out. Baseball is not the right now. I played football in school, and so I had some pump up songs. So when I played football, my favorite one was "Wherever I May Roam" by Metallica. So that's maybe my big pump up song. I saw it during football.
So obviously the area has issues around housing, affordability. What would you do as mayor to address those issues?
Yeah, affordable housing has been my big issue since I first ran for city council. It's the issue I've kind of pushed on most. I think, there's two aspects to it. One is certainly a supply and demand issue, and the council has done a lot on the supply side, approving a lot of developments. I've approved a lot of them as well, though the most careful in denying some developments that I didn't think were the right fit or done appropriately. But I think that's a big component. I think we've been doing a fairly decent job with that with the units I approved. But I think we can do more. And so one of the things I'd like to do is appoint a citizen advisory committee to develop an affordable housing plan based on best practices of similar sized communities. And so one of the things I want a plan like that to identify as a strategy is the city has a number of vacant surplus properties, and I'd like to partner with nonprofit housing providers to build income-based affordable housing on those vacant lots to get more the non-market rate housing units actually. And then a third piece is I'd like to tighten restrictions on short-term vacation rentals. Obviously, short-term vacation rentals takes housing away from our residents, and so I don't want to see too much growth in that. And so I want to tighten those restrictions, not to take away any that exist or allow for a little bit of growth for folks who are just planning on that financial income in the coming years, but tightening it up so there's not too much more growth in that, and make sure that in the future most of our housing goes to local residents.
Well, speaking of short-term rentals and cracking down on, how they operate here, how would you improve code enforcement here in Kalispell?
Yeah, so with the short-term rentals, we currently have a computer program that scans the internet and identifies the units that are in the community that are short-term rentals that the staff can review and see if it's on our list of approved permitted rentals. But yeah, code enforcement is definitely an issue. You hear about it a lot from the community, and we did have a vote that came up about code enforcement. And I wasn't ready for a code enforcement officer at this time, only because a couple of reasons. One is I'd like to hire a planning staffer dedicated to affordable housing. Like I said, that is the top issue for me. And so that's a priority for me to get that funded first. I could see in the future, as we get some other priorities, staffing priorities, take care of code enforcement could come over line as a staffing priority, but not quite yet, though I recognize that it's a concern for folks and they want to see that taken care of at some point in the future.
Right, because that doesn't touch just short-term rentals, it touches the junk car stuff that was a topic last year and all sorts of stuff.
Right, yeah, and I get people's concerns around some of those issues around neighbors and stuff. And when I look at the city's priorities, affordable housing, where we have a spike in homeless population and so forth, that's a bigger priority for me than some of the neighbor disputes. But ultimately, at some point, I'm sure we'll have a compliance officer.
What was the last concert you went to?
Last concert I went to, well, it would have been that 20 Grenade at Walkboats, the outdoor venue. And well, in fact, I was I've been at some charitable events where there's been some bands playing as well. So I'm probably one of those as well. And can't remember exactly which one.
Yeah, we have so many great local bands here.
We do. I love it. For a small community, the amount of local bands, and it's really quite impressive in all of our community.
I do too. As an aside, I'm from kind of north of Nashville, and I'm growing up. I mean, we were just spoiled with like great live music, and so when we got up here, I noticed pretty quickly. I was like, there's a lot of musicians up here that are making it like, their full-time job is music, more than you would expect in the middle of this part of the country, where, like away from cities and everything. So.
Yeah, I've wanted to go to Nashville. I'm very interested in visiting all the kind of music cities in the country. I went to New Orleans, a number of years ago, I'm a big jazz fan, and so caught a lot of jazz down there, and much so impressed by the town, just because the amount of live music that's going on. You just walk down the street, every restaurant, every shop, everything, they had somebody playing live music every night, and it was awesome. And I was like, I gotta go to all the music cities of the country to sing. And so,
yeah, New Orleans is cool. If you ever go to Nashville, do Broadway, like walk to, it depends on how much you're interested in it, I guess, but there's some great live music not on Broadway anymore. It's like in the other neighborhoods of Nashville, you know, like Belmont, like close to the universities.
Yeah, Nashville, Memphis, Boston,
Oh, but
Chicago, yeah, all of these music cities. I love to that.
yeah. Are you a dog person or a cat person?
Dog person, though right now I have a cat because my family and my wife and daughter are cat people. But yeah, I'm a dog person
Okay. Are you getting along with the cat?
sometimes.
Cats can be kind of mean sometimes.
Yeah, and our cat in particular is kind of I don't want to Lucas his name and don't want to diss him too much in public, but he's done that too.
Yeah, no, there we go. No, and that's coming from a cat person.
Head.
What role do you think the mayor should take in running the city of Kalispell?
Yeah, we have a council city manager system, which means that we don't have a strong mayor system. The mayor doesn't have a lot of authority beyond more than other city council members. But I really think the mayor serves an important role for setting a vision and communicating with the public. And so I take that role seriously. I'll set that vision and, make sure that the community has questions or concerns about the city that they feel they can come to me, talk to me. I'm always willing to meet with folks who want to talk with them and try to spread that information about what's going on in the city. I've done that as a city council member. I'll do that as well as a mayor, and then just coordinating with the city manager, who is kind of administrator for the city, make sure that everything runs smoothly there as well. So the mayor is an important position in terms of leadership on the council, and I get to serve that role on the city council.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ryan. This has been great.
All right, thank you.
Since 1912, the Kalispell Grand Hotel has welcomed travelers to the heart of downtown Kalispell. A century of history echoes through its halls, from the original architecture to the stories of guests who made it their home away from home. Today, the tradition continues. Historic charm meets modern comfort, just steps from local shops, restaurants, and the beauty of Montana's Flathead Valley. Experience history. Stay at the Kalispell Grand Hotel. Visit kalispellgrand.com to book your stay today.